20 years of mismanagement. The Glazers' damage to Manchester United. An Elon Musk £8 billion bid for Manchester United. From Sir Alex Ferguson's empire to the Glazers' chaos. Manchester United's downfall unmasking the Glazers. Their lies and greed. Who is Manchester United? Let's remind everyone. Manchester United is one of the greatest sides in English football history with over 68 major trophies won and many other trophies won over the decades. And when you consider their huge global fan base of over 700 Manchester United are unequivocally one of, if not the biggest football team in the world. To put that into further context, Manchester United have high numbers of fans in the entire population of 4 separate continents, with almost 10% of the entire globe supporting the club. If we rewind 2 decades to 2003, Man United have just completed a remarkable comeback to win the title against Arsenal, having won 4 of the previous 5 editions, as well as being the first side in the top 5 leagues to ever win the triple just few years earlier. I think it's fair to say that Man United were on top of their game. This season marks 12 years since Manchester United last lifted the Premier League, having won 13 of the previous 20 editions, and all of the struggle can be explained by 2 words. The Glazers. Mistakes after mistakes have broken the club down to the point that we lost all the respect in the football world. And my plan for this thread is to expose the biggest mistakes that they did in the last 20 years. The turnaround and the start of the greed. In March 2003, Malcolm Glazer bought his first stake in Manchester United, and by 2005, the Glazers family had gradually managed to acquire 98% of the club, forcing the rest of the minority shareholders into selling their shares in what's known as a squeeze-out. This then gave the Glazers family full control of the biggest club in England, Manchester United. The total cost of this purchase was around £800 million. However, they haven't spent a penny of their own money, using what's called a leveraged buyout to acquire loans around £800 million placed into the club's assets, especially putting the money they own to the club's name rather than using their own cash to buy the club. If you are a bit confused on what I just said, let me put it in very simple non-financial language. Instead of paying with their own money, they used a trick, so Manchester United have bought themselves and put the club in millions of debt since day one, and they still were able to gain control of majority of the club shares. Within a year of the leveraged buyout, Glazer had 2 strokes and his 6 children: Avram, Joel, Brian, Kevin, Darcy, and Edward ran United. All of them sitting on the board of directors. The Glazers' £790 million takeover loaded United with debt that is now around £500 million. The club were debt-free before the takeover. The first decade of their ownership. Under the continued management of Sir Alex, Manchester United initially remained successful under the Glazers' ownership, winning 5 Premier League titles in 7 seasons between 2007 and 2013. In the 210 season saw tensions only get worse. It started with the sale of the star player Cristiano Ronaldo, who's then replaced with the likes of Gabriel Oberton, Antonio Valencia, and a 30-year-old Michael Owen, who was not only injury-prone but also ex-Liverpool player. Now, of course, none of this was technically done from the Glazers directly, but the rumor about that summer is that they didn't want to give a lot of transfer budget to the club, even though they made a record sale of £80 million in Cristiano Ronaldo. That was a record sale on that year and many years to come. 1 year later, Manchester United have officially to become the first football team to break £100 million in annual commercial revenue alone, when many teams around the country were struggling. The new owners were out of touch and disillusioned with reality, proving that Man United were now a business rather than a football team, and having placed hundreds of millions in debt of a club which had barely even been a penny in a red in the past, combined with the financial crisis of the early 2010s, a hedge of their owners spread amongst United fan base which had never been seen before. Things only declined between the fans and the owners when the Glazers started to sell some of the minority shares of the club into the New York Stock Exchange. However, instead of using the money to pay off the debt or invest into the team or the stadium, they pocketed the cash in a time where fans of the club were struggling to even put food on the table. The second decade of their ownership. Destruction. Since Sir Alex Ferguson retired from the managerial position, this club has never been the same, as he was the head coach, the sporting director, the negotiator of deals, and everything in between. In one word, he was Man United himself. Mistakes after mistakes, appointment after appointment of wrong people in the wrong position is the history of Manchester United from Sir Alex's retirement till last year. The Glazers saw and run the club as a business and appointed people who have no clue in the world of football but just knew how to make money for the club, and in the revenue side that worked as the club continued to get bigger and bigger in the marketing side and made millions of pounds for the Glazers to take them as dividends. To this day, the club is over £700 million in debt, The debt that they took it as loan to purchase the club and they never even tried to pay off, and rumors say that the club has also a lot of debt on transfer fees made over this decade. They didn't invest a penny into the stadium since 2010, and now our beloved Old Trafford is one of the worst stadiums in the country. According to football business expert Swiss Ramble, no owners in the Premier League have taken out more money than the Glazers' £154 million at Man United in the last 10 years. While the Glazers have taken money, some owners have put in significant funds during that time, notably their intercity rivals Manchester City. Man City's owners have invested £684 million in the club. Man United have also paid the Glazers management fees under a consultancy agreement, which add up to £23 million according to the prospectus for the MUFC Finance plc borrowing. The Glazers have made a fortune by selling some Class A shares in Man United, which works out to at least £465 million, and could reach £514 million if underwriters took up the option to buy more shares. The club did not receive any proceeds from the sale, so only the owners benefited, putting the club for sale and the circus of Ineos buying 30% of the shares. For more than 1 year, the Glazers and their directors have made the fans wait and suffer through speculation and PR games from the club. The Glazers never intended to sell 100% of the club, as they told numerous of people who were interested in buying 100% of the club, including the Qatar Royals, but they only tested the waters and made PR spins for the fans till they found the perfect match and partner to hide behind. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos made a perfect offer to them so they can sell around 30% of the club and get some money into their pockets and also hide behind them and give Ineos the responsibility of footballing side while they still make the big calls into the marketing side of the club and where the real revenue of the club is. I don't want to be judgmental too soon and say that the Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe have failed the fans, but whoever is on the same bed with the Glazers is an enemy to the fans. The Glazers had offers from Qatar of over £7 billion to sell all the club, and with that they would have erased also all the debt of the Glazers in loans. But they refused as they wanted to earn and get more money over the years with Manchester United. I really hope for the good of the club that Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe will be successful of fixing all the issues on the footballing side as soon as possible. Otherwise, I see Manchester United fans getting more and more impatient with them and turn against them just like they did with the Glazers. Manchester United fans worldwide and learn the truth about the state of this club and who are the ones who we really need to blame. Also, we want this to be seen from the PR teams of both the Glazers and Ineos, so they can understand that the fans know the truth and that they are sitting on clicking bomb that is called Manchester United fanbase. Breaking news. Elon Musk said to be ready to make a £8 billion bid for Manchester United. Discussions about significant investments in player acquisitions and a modernized operational approach are among the possibilities being considered. The Glazer family has yet to address the rumors surrounding Musk's interest. However, such a substantial offer could prompt them to consider selling their stake in the club. While it remains unclear if Musk's bid will materialize, the prospect has captured the attention of fans worldwide. Should it succeed, it could signal the start of a new era for one of football's most iconic clubs. Despite the speculation, as of January 8, 2025, there is no verified evidence confirming Musk's intention to buy Manchester United. Back in August 2022, Musk humorously tweeted about purchasing the club, only to later clarify it was a joke. More recently, in December 2024, reports surfaced suggesting Musk's father, Elon Musk, mentioned Elon's interest in Liverpool FC, citing a family connection to the city. However, no concrete steps have been taken. It's worth noting that Manchester United saw a significant ownership change in October 2024 when British billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe acquired a majority stake. Ratcliffe's ambitious plans include building a state-of-the-art stadium estimated to cost £2 billion, and informal discussions about potential investments from Musk and Jeff Bezos were held to support the project. However, no formal agreements have been established. At this stage, it seems unlikely that Musk is actively pursuing the acquisition of Manchester United. For the latest and most accurate updates, it's best to rely on official statements from the involved parties.